Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and today I have another process video for you. Now I will say this is using my August How to Kill a Kit with Style, but you may notice a few more scraps than normal. I had so much fun this past weekend hosting a online scrap party with my patrons over on Patreon, and through that I have now gotten back into scrapbooking Disney. And yes, I do scrapbook a ton of Disney photos, and this is the 2016 album. This is actually the second album for the 2016 trip, but I am making some more headway. So I pulled together some papers from my paper pad in my August kit. If you guys have not seen what's in my August kit, I'll have that video linked down below so you guys don't miss out. I'll also have my Disney playlist linked down below if many of you are also capturing those Disney memories in your scrapbooks as of late, so you can get some more inspiration. But today I'm scrapbooking two photos of Expedition Everest, which is the best ride at Animal Kingdom in my opinion. Not including the safari. I think safari is more of an attraction because it's hit or miss. But this is the ultimate ride for me. I love this roller coaster, and I have a picture of the mountain itself, Mount Everest, as well as the actual entrance to the ride where it says Expedition Everest. So I'm capturing those today with this color scheme of like this navy, this red, and this yellow, and pops of pink, which I actually end up ignoring for a majority of this project. And I don't really use much pink, but I do focus on the navy and the yellow quite a bit, and then some varying shades of red. Because there are so many dark pinks in the background, I think varying the shades of red throughout the piece actually helps kind of combine them with the red that's in the photo on the banner on the left. So to get started with my layouts, I typically start with some main paper layers, which I've done with the yellow here and bordered that with some red washi tape, and then I start going through my sticker embellishments and start creating some clusters. Now, I did try to do this for a challenge for my online scrap party, which is the Grab 5 challenge. So I pulled out 5 things that I'm using. And if you'd like to learn more, you can head over to Patreon and sign up and come join in on the challenges because you don't want to miss out, and have fun with us over on Patreon. But I just start by building these clusters, and I go through my sticker book like no tomorrow. I scan it for color, I scan it for icons, for tropes I'm looking for things I can use, whether that's word-based, icon-based, anything that could relate to Animal Kingdom in this sense. So I pulled out a little sun, I pulled out a red banner that sort of matches the color scheme, and then a little blue washi strip that has like map coordinates on it because I thought it'd work really well. Now I did have to do some research because I pulled out this little tiger from the Heidi Swap Color Shine collection, and I wasn't sure, one, if Mount Everest was in the region where tigers are. So I did some research. Nepal does have tigers, which I was pretty sure they did, but I wanted to be sure to be a little bit more accurate with my decorations here. But nonetheless, it is definitely a wild expedition experience, so a tiger could fit nonetheless. So I end up pulling this together, and I wanted to trim down my photos. So now that my clusters are sort of in an area that I'm happy with, I know that I want to trim down my photos to 1, make room for a title, 2, make room for some journaling, and 3, make some room for stamping, because I have some stamps in this kit that I've been dying to use, and I finally get to use them on this page. So this is a Concord and 9 stamp set I've had for a little bit now, and I know I want to stamp them in my favorite blue ink, but before we get there I want to map my photos so I know how much room I actually have to work with for stamping. Now what I've loved about stamping recently is just simple stamping on the page, blending it into clusters wherever that may be, but I wanted to map my photos on some white cardstock first and then go in with this blue diamond pattern and mount them again, so I have a little bit of extra contrast between the 2 layers and the photo themselves. So that's an easy way to add a little bit more of a structured detail to your page, is to do a white border first and then a colored border, whether that be cardstock or pattern paper. So I do that with these and trim them out, and I ended up cutting down the left one to a 4x4, which is one of my favorite sizes to work with, and then I just trimmed a little bit off the top of the actual mountain photo, just so it wasn't as tall, looming over the 4x4. And once those are trimmed up and semi-straight, I end up putting them here in the middle of the page, which is normally my go-to. But then I decided I wanted to switch it up. I wanted it to be different. And looking at this stamp set, there were these beautiful leaves in there, and I was trying to decide which ones to use that sort of matched the background paper that we have there, because I want a similar illustration style throughout my project, if possible. So I ended up pulling out this one, which I think is the best match. And I, again, used my favorite blue ink, which is the Stays On Midnight Blue, which was gifted to me by my lovely friend, and I absolutely adore it. So the first one did not go well. And this is your reason to not follow what I do, but listen to what I say, and always test your stamp on a scrap piece of paper first. I don't mind the faded stamped look, so I just paired it with a full version and it looks fine. It actually builds out the cluster nicely. And here I actually put my phone in screen so you guys can actually see what I'm watching. But if you guys don't know, I'm currently obsessed with a show on YouTube called Actually, where a bunch of nerd-like people come together and do fun game show corrections about different things like movies, books, anime, games, etc. So check it out if you're interested. I know I've enjoyed it, and they're nice long episodes, so they really just play while I am scrapbooking away. But once that's done, I end up starting to glue everything down. I did decide to do some more stamping on the left-hand side that actually does get covered up quite a bit. Now, luckily, the dots sort of save the day on all these fronts. They just add a little bit more contrast everywhere that I could possibly want it to be. And since this is a little acetate tiger, I end up having to staple him into place, which was really sad to think about, but he's nice and secure now and he won't go anywhere, and I'm glad that he's on the page to add a little pop of orange on there to sort of mimic that dark yellow that's in those elements from Echo Park. Now for the title, I end up mixing one of the stamps from the stamp set that says Because with some LA Studio alphabets to create my title, and it's just because it's the best ride. And I'm going to talk about in the journaling how this is one of my favorite rides, and I used to be so scared of roller coasters, and Everest was one of the ones that like invigorated me the most about roller coasters, and I was least scared of going on again and again. And it's definitely a wild roller coaster. It's not for the faint of heart nonetheless, but it is a lot of fun. So here I'm just using that same blue ink, which stamped beautifully on the yellow pattern paper. Always beware when you're using colored inks that if you are stamping on top of colored paper, sometimes it can distort the color that the ink appears. So always test the spot if you're not sure, or make sure you're using a very opaque ink. But here is where I start winding down on this layout. It's actually quite a busy layout when you really think about it, because I use so many patterns and so many elements. So to give it a little bit more continuity across, we obviously have the dots that I stamped and that blue ink throughout, but I thought it'd be nice to add some Nuvo drops, so I used my dandelion yellow and my white gloss ones here, and they're the perfect ending piece. Now I do wish I had a red or a navy to add in, but I don't have that many Nuvo drops, nor do I have that many enamel dots in general left in my stash, but I'm super excited with how this turned out, and hopefully you guys are too. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. Here are the close-up shots, but you can get more details over on my blog, and you can find that link in the description box down below, as well as other videos you might have missed here on my channel. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I had a lot of fun with this one. I'm so glad I got to use that cute little tiger from the Heidi Swap set, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!